Deontay Bay, peace and blessings to the collective. Rahu in the ninth, Ketu in the third. What is this actually speaking to? You feel me? What is the energy behind this alignment? How does one harness properly both energetic points of Rahu and Ketu to turn the Amrita out of the ocean of their life, right? Rahu in the ninth. Well, first house, what does the ninth house represent, right? The ninth house basically represents one's own higher dharma, one's own belief system, you know what I'm saying? One the divine laws or the higher laws that basically uh govern one's own universe and mindset, right? Uh Deals with religion, you know what I'm saying? The search for religious truth, the adherence to not only religious systems but higher knowledge period, universal knowledge, you know what I'm saying? Wanting to know understand the blueprint of the universe. It deals with faith, you feel me? The light at the end of the tunnel, God, you know what I'm saying? Seeking God, and seeking God first, so all else can be added unto you type shit or whatnot, right? That's the ninth house, right? When Rahu comes into the ninth house, it can give a strong urge to seek these particular themes. It can give an obsession with, accumulating higher knowledge, higher study, higher wisdom, higher principles, divine law, things of this nature and whatnot, which is good, which is great, which can make a person a very learned individual, right? And very enthusiastic within their pursuit of this type of knowledge. On the downside, though, with Rahu in particular, since Rahu deals with obsession, Rahu deals with cutting corners, Rahu deals with overinflation of perception and the distortion of the truth. You feel me? Skewed perception. Because Rahu carries this particular theme in the ninth house, it can often have some dangerous effects. One thing that I've noticed, it can give a person erratic conspiracy theorist type beliefs that are not at all based in reality. These beliefs usually just inflate the ego of the own individual or give a person inflated or magnified sense of higher purpose, but they have no root in truth or root in reality. You feel me? It's just an ego fucker. So what do I mean by that? Like, I know so many people so many people that can believe themselves to be Martin Luther King reincarnate, or the Prophet Muhammad reincarnated, or Buddha reincarnated, you know what I'm saying, or Oshun reincarnated. You come back to earth this time around to baptize the world in your pussy and save humanity. Like, there's so many people with erratic beliefs that are not at all rooted in anything real. Uh, it's just a booster or a motivator for the ego. And yeah, Rahu in the ninth can often make a person a bit more egotistical than normal as well. Uh, Rahu in the ninth can lead one vulnerable. Rahu in the ninth can give cult like affiliation. So either the person themselves has the qualities of a cult leader, you know what I'm saying, and maybe they want to start a cult type of organization to where they're like a priest of, or they're like a religious leader of, they govern and manage those below them or whatnot. Not necessarily saying it always has to be bad, not necessarily saying it's always going to be good, but it can give a cult like influence. Or it could be somebody who's attracted to cult leaders, you feel me? Attracted to false gurus, attracted to darker gurus, you feel me? Somebody who searches for higher knowledge and who searches for higher truth. And you might come across a dark or a false guru who's saying things that might appeal to you, and you quickly you decide that you might quickly trust, or you just might quickly give faith to these types of individuals. But in the end, the other face is shown, and the deception is revealed, and the pain is resulted in whatever encounter you have with that person. So yeah, it can showcase, you know, cult type situations, Rahu in the ninth, whether the person themselves are a cult leader or they're attracted to cult leaders. What else? Rahu in the ninth. False beliefs that can prove more destructive than normal, but it's not a completely bad place. But you know what I'm saying. And of course, the rest of the chart has to be assessed or seen. You feel me? Which end of the axis is heavier, whether it's Rahu or whether it's Ketu, will definitely give differing results. You know what I'm saying? Zodiac sign placement aspects, all that, right? So, moving on to Ketu in the third house. With Ketu in the third house represents one's own investigation into reality. What is reality? The immediate reality, the stuff that's around you. You know what I'm saying? Your own form of search is developing. It's basically kind of like getting it out of mud. It's developing your own skill sets, your own talents. It's basically being like your own self coach. The ninth is the opposite of the third. They both have one and the same purpose as far as it comes to uh searching for knowledge or data, right? They just go about it in different ways. So in the third house, you're not relying on a god or a teacher or outside source to accumulate or to figure out this type of knowledge. You feel me? And third house knowledge usually deals with skill sets. It usually deals with things that are skills that are related to the practical world. It usually deals with, also talents and abilities that can be related to hobbies or games or self-interest. You know what I'm saying? Your desires, lust, things of that nature. You feel me? Things that are much closer to you. Whatever that happens to be. This is why they say siblings and close friends are indicated at the third house, because the brothers, your siblings, are usually the ones who are like your homies, your first homies, the ones that you play with, the ones that you're constantly around, the ones that you compete with or y'all battle with, but it's still like a brotherly love type of situation. It doesn't necessarily ever have to get too serious beyond that in regards to them becoming an enemy or something like that, right? So third house is your own search, your own investigation. K2 in the third can show that somebody has a great deal of mastery and ability. This can show a person that, you know what I'm saying, they're able to figure out things on their own. Might go through a lot of harsh situations where they didn't necessarily have the guidance that they would have desired, but nonetheless they're able to figure their way through these situations. You know what I'm saying? That they're able to pick up certain skill sets on their own without necessarily being taught or instructed, whether it be gardening or martial arts of some sort, or getting into the tech space, ethical hacking or construction, or it doesn't matter. Like, these skill sets that they get into and that they master, they usually do it off of their own self-interest, and they usually are able to figure it out through their own experimentation. That's what K2 in the third house can signify. But K2 in the third can show a dissatisfaction within the petty themes of life, the gossip surrounding the friend circle, or the sibling, or the the all the effort that they might feel like they have to put in order to just maintain or exist in reality. All right, it can come kind of third house K2. It can showcase a person who doesn't necessarily take maximum advantage of their skills like they could. You know what I'm saying? They could really market their skills. They could really put their skills to use into some type of particular talent, or some type of, they could coach others the way that they coach themselves. They really could. If they could take a little bit of Rahu and put it in their third house, they could coach others. They could become a boxing teacher or a martial arts teacher, or a fucking tech space teacher or whatever. You feel me? They could become a teacher of some sort due to their own experience and their own investigation, they can teach and disseminate the knowledge that they've gained through Ketu and the third to others. But a lot of the times it can shows that a person is not necessarily looking to get clout or to get money or is really looking to teach that. They're just, they have the skill or the hobby. They play with it whenever they want to, but it's not something that, they're interested in putting out there like that. That's what the K2 and the third can show. But it depends though. You feel me? It definitely depends on the configuration of the rest of the chart, which end of the axis is heavier. A lot of the times K2 and the third people can or are forced to make a trade, or are forced to offer a service in relation to their third house talents and abilities. You know what I'm saying? And it's not even a thing of ego, it's just a thing of necessity, of survival. But yeah, so how does one balance this particular axis? So with Rahu in the ninth, whatever teachers, whatever guru, whatever wisdom that you come across, and it's difficult. This particular axis is difficult because Rahu and Ketu both are not in the best of placements. But with Rahu, you have to be careful to not let your desire or your interest in higher truth or particular priestly figures and things of this nature, you have to be careful to not let those interests pull you into potential dark situations. You feel me? So just because you might see somebody casting the illusion of living good or being a person of God or yada yada yada, etc., you can't necessarily just decide that I want to take that course, or I want to be around that person, or I want that person to be my mentor because they look good, on the surface, right? Be a little more studious, be a little more observant, you know what I'm saying? And understand that God is within. God is within, is if you can, it's cool to search different religious systems or different spiritual systems or ideologies, but be more so committed to adhering to certain rules truthfully. Always adhere to truthfully, and then seeing the results, experimenting with them on your own time to see how they affect your person and the truth of the manifestation. Don't necessarily rely too much on somebody to guide you. We all need guidance of some sort, you feel me? And we necessarily don't arrive to the truth uh all by ourselves, you know what I'm saying? If that was the case, then we wouldn't need to be incarnated around others at all, right? But Rahu in the ninth, you just gotta find a way to not be so horny for somebody to teach you some shit. K2 in the third, it would behoove this person to really take advantage of the talents or the skills that they have and to offer them as a services that they have and to offer them as a service or a course or a class of some sort. Like, you know what I'm saying? Have others not only that, like K2 in the third could be good with especially in today's age, you could really succeed with K2 in the third, like because streaming activities that deal with fun, consumption of fun, dopamine based content, you know what I'm saying? TikTok and even joking. K2 in the third can be quite funny, you know what I'm saying? Comedy, drama, acting possibly, different things of that nature. Like stuff like that. K2 in the third can be can capitalize off of those particular talents or whatnot, right? But yeah, put it out to the public, to sustain yourself. Also, whatever you learn from the ninth, take it to the third and experiment with it. Don't just believe and have blind faith, but experiment with things to see the truth of the manifestation. Deontay Bay.